Okay, very good. We can commence programming now. We've got the emoji list there. Did I do any CSS on it? No, not yet. Greenness score. Let's start with just adding the newly processed images to some scrolling list thing. And not all of them either. That's important. Because there's 1,500. So can I simply append an image element to my div? I think I probably can. Do I have the div in memory yet? No. No, I do not. That's the simple solution, right? No kind of limit at all. And problem. Where is the element being displayed? It is. Oh, hello? Oh, hey. Oh. Whoa. That's not so bad. You know, I thought having all these image elements here would, like, make it not run well, but that's not true. Seemingly. Interesting. Pretty cool, actually. let's do some CSS on it. 1 second, I changed the size of this slightly. Okay, yeah. So we've got everything hanging out in this UI div. If we want these three elements to be jammed next to each other, then we have to do some kind of styling on UI div. I don't know that I'm gonna do that. So kind of like. It would be interesting to figure out how to do it, though. All right, I'm gonna take a minute and Google it. It's a good excuse to like go do a couple Google searches. Okay, so like, okay, so if I did like flex direction row, that would be one thing. Now, yeah, let me just try flex direction row on what? On the UI div, right? So on the UI div, I say display flex direction row. And the info, a button area, is not position absolute, so it shouldn't be a problem. And emoji list really does not need to be wide at all, like 60 pixels. Height 100% though, obviously. Yeah, I don't have to do webpack. Yeah, that's essentially what I was going for. It's just that the spacer is not spacey enough. Very good. Okay. Yeah. Alright, yeah, we're making progress. So the spacer should be, let's like try 700. Can I do display flex as well as overflow Y? Wait. Scroll, yeah. And then, yeah, can I do that? Yes, I can do that. That is a thing that I can do. I wish you were... no, I think it's okay. I should make these like clickable or something, I guess, right? Yeah. That's interesting. You could just have... Or at least I can just have 1,500 emojis. Like, who knows? It's anyone's guess how it would perform on other PCs. Oh yeah. Okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah. I do want them to be clickable. Okay, so that's important. That's something I'm gonna have to figure out here, right? I'll have to do like image.onClick or .add listener click console.log something or other image. Let's try doing that just so we know that it's like different for each thing. That's a thought, right? I could do something. Okay. So I come over here. This, I probably shouldn't be doing that. Boop. And this is going to be different, right? Yeah, that's a different one. That's a different one. That's a different one. Very good. Very, very good. Okay. Next. Insert nodes after the last child of a node. There's a way to like insert after or insert before and stuff like that. Because if we did that, then we could do insertion sort. Yeah, if we did that, then we could do insertion sort. Insertion sort. You know what's kind of sad. I probably don't even have to do insertion sort, realistically, because of how fast literally looking up everything would be, just like iterating over the whole list one at a time. It makes me sad that proper like binary search and like sorting methods are like so rarely needed. Even with my game. Well, actually, that's not entirely true. Let me think. With my game, well, you see, the thing with that is, I have to do like per frame stuff. In theory, these calls would only need to happen once ever. That's probably why it doesn't matter. But yeah, in my game, I have actually had to do binary search kinds of things. So that feels feels like my expensive CS degree was worth something. I mean, I've been out of college for so long that at this point I should not like. I can't really have that relationship to my degree anymore, where I'm like, damn, I can't believe I didn't get to use this knowledge. Or like, or I can't say like I never would have learned X, Y, or Z, because it's like I've been in industry for well, not quite as long as I've been in college, to be clear. I spent an absurdly long time in college, but for most people, I would have been in industry longer than I've been in college. So, anyways, so I have to Google that real quick. I didn't mean to click. I clicked the snipping tool. Let me see. JavaScript insert element after the after method. What? The .after method inserts a set of node or string objects in the children list of the element's parent just after the element. That's a really confusing explanation, but okay. So I at least need one additional array to store the order of these things. Okay, yeah, this is totally doable, especially since I've got an array that's already storing all these elements in them right here. Oh, right. I didn't finish writing the click method. Do... Ha. I need this to pass in I. Which is totally reasonable. Now, does this work if you call it multiple times? Let's see. We do boop, 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 boop. And so this is actually not what it should do, I guess. I guess what it should do now is this. Because the whatever settings I have on the buttons, I want them to persist through loading different emojis. Otherwise, it'd be confusing. So I could do that, assuming that red on, green on, etc. start off as true, which they do. Yeah, so this load emoji functionality should be done. Ooh, you hate to see it. If I do this... Huh. Something about clearing the work area, maybe? Let me see. Work area canvas. Work area canvas. Each frame we draw an image to it. No, we draw the work area, the contents of the work area too. So emoji context dot draw image. Wait. Oh, we're drawing the image onto the emoji context, but the emoji context never gets cleared. So the emoji context should do a clear rect every time we load an emoji. The first time we load it obviously is not important, but now I was wrong, clearly. This still works, but clicking you guys seemingly does not do anything. Question. Let me stick you inside load emoji. So I must not be thinking of this right. Emoji context clear rect. Emoji context draw. The okay, that's the problem. It could never possibly load any emoji besides the first one. Okay. There we go. Oh, this is wacky. Oh no, this is like forbidden knowledge, dude. The off-centerness. Oh. Humans were not meant to possess this information. This feels wrong. just the fact that this guy goes slightly to the left and shrinks a little bit. That hurts me a little bit. See, this guy, this is exactly the same. Oh my god. Wow, the shading is slightly different. Ooh. Holy cow, this is mind-blowing. These two work well with each other. Where was I? This one's shifted a pixel up, or like half a pixel up. Oh my god. Microsoft Teams will never financially recover once this leaks. Oh, that's kind of crazy. His eyes are definitely bigger. Ooh. Wow. I didn't know I wanted this knowledge. Oh, his mouth is smaller. Oh my god, this guy's mouth is huge. His mouth gets even bigger when he's rolling on the floor laughing. But this guy's mouth is really small. Huh. And this is not simply a flip of the image, is it? No, it's not. Look at that. And the flipped image is like taller. Oh my god. And this guy is like squarer or something. Wow. The slight pixel differences, this is crazy. Wow. Alright, so anyways, we're trying to find the greenest emoji, so that will require some method of sorting them. Probably want to go ahead and define let's see. Oh, no, that's not what this is going to be. This is just going to be a number array. It's just going to store the indices. Okay. And we need some kind of sorting method. Let's do a fake sorting method first. Yeah, so what we're gonna do, we're not gonna do this. We're gonna do we're gonna have to do greenness score here, I think. Yeah, so we'll do let greenness score equal emoji index. We will actually define a proper function for it at some point. And then we're going to do emoji data emoji index. What is the other index? 4. Because 3 is the image itself, which you'd think would be here. Where do I do it right here. And then I say sort loaded emoji. Could I not just pass in like the image and the greenness score? Right, I would pass that in. That's not how you spell that word. Yeah, so what I would do is I would say that and that. And what you do is you iterate over the list. Probably, what would you do? For let I equal 0, I less than. And we're going to do a linear insertion sort. So what specifically are we looking for? Let me think. We want the highest score to be there first, right? So what would we do? We would search for... We want to insert before the first element. Insert before the first element that has a lower score. So that's really easy if we encounter an item that's like the first. But then what if we get to the last element? We look through all of them. Can we use document.element.append child in that case? Yeah, I think we can. We say if emoji data let's do this to make it a little bit more clear. Emoji data oh, I'm iterating over sorted emojis. Yes, I am. So I have to get like, so we have to do a couple of levels of indirection here. Let emoji other emoji index for other sort value. If other sort value is less than sort value, then we insert before it. If we did not find a spot to insert, then we insert it here, I think. And I think this will work. Let's do cast this to an HTML image element. And we do dot before. Yeah, you know that's how that works. And if we didn't find a spot to insert because either sorted emojis is empty or it belongs at the end, we can do append child. So that's really cool. We handle those two edge cases simultaneously. There's one important thing missing. We need to go into sorted emojis and put our thing in the right place. So this one's easy. Push this at the end. Oh. I don't know our emoji's emoji index. I should ask for that information. And I need to do some kind of insert before. Let's see if we can figure out how to do that. Nope. Inserts new elements at the start of the array. No. Let me Google this. Splice. I've done splice enough, you would think. No, that's not how you do that. Oh, if you splice and say to delete 0 items, that will work. Huh. Let me look at the example here. Okay, yeah. So we do splice I delete 0, and what's this one? The items. The item we're inserting is the emoji index. Very good. Let's see how that works. It don't. Before is not a function. That's interesting. Before is not a function. Let me see. I'm calling before on what? Calling before on... Well, this is an array. That's silly. There you go. That cast was not correct. Here we go. There we go. Ooh, baby. That was a bit of a mess. I do believe... No, wait. No, this is exactly how it should work. It's sorting by the greatest value. And so actually the greatest emoji index will be the one at the bottom. Yeah, so that's exact. And you notice at the end, only at the end is where it started to slow down. It's actually quite slow there at the end. Okay. Surprisingly not that bad. And then here's roughly the opposite order. Okay. That's pretty dope. I don't hate that. Alright, well, I am going to have to take a bathroom break real quick. But I will be back shortly. Let me see if the BRB thing works. It does work. Yeah, I'll be right back. We're back. Oh, I hate that. Look at that. That's annoying. Can I fix that? I definitely want them to be clickable, but I don't want them to be like selectable. I should probably have a class for, well, wait. What if I put it here? Yeah? Ta-da! Okay, that's fantastic news. Okay. So... greenness scores. I pass in... what do I pass in? I need to make a canvas out of the image. Ooh, boy. Sure. So we're going to make a temporary canvas to store the image data of the image. You have to do that because the only API I'm aware of that lets you access per pixel image data is one that belongs to the canvas rendering context 2D, which comes from a canvas. Okay. So we're going to start with a really basic one, but I'm just thinking that through right now. RGBA. 255 is the highest they can be. 0 would be 0. Yeah, that's what we want. And so here we would just do green over 255 times opacity ratio. And we would return total score. I didn't write the image data to the thing. You know what's probably smarter though is to just keep a temp canvas around. Yep. This is maybe a minor optimization, but so then what we do here is we clear it. And then we draw the image data to it. Is this it? No, it's just image. There you go. And why would I use 40 when I can just use emoji size? Never use the number 40 anywhere in the code. Oops. There you go. Very good. Could in theory do this, and then I could use this elsewhere. Oh, there. And it's going to be incredibly slow to call this function, you know, 40 times 40 times. Oh, that's not how you do that. This way, what could I do? It'd be cool to represent this as a value of up to 255. Just do that as a standard so that what am I trying to do? What am I thinking here? I could have an additional channel, I guess, that like will visualize the score. But let's not do that first. We'll get there, but let's not do that first. Let's just try this. That didn't work. Because I did this. Huh? Let me look. This should always be equal to greenness score. I'm being silly. Calculate the greenness score. Store the new greenness score there for the new emoji. Yeah. I thought for a second it was working, but no. There we. Aha! Yes. As expected, the flaw in this method is revealed. Yes, yes, very good. I mean, these are in fact very green, so that's nice, at least. But also, they're very white, and it makes sense that white would be scored very highly because it's also extremely high in green. In fact, the white is greener than the green is, funnily enough. Green greener than green. Yeah, and you see, green square is actually after check mark and X. Wow, look at these as being subtly different. That's so weird. Yeah, so that's awful. And this doesn't look remotely green. But it is, however, it is surprisingly green. Wow, look at that. That's very green. Holy crap. You know, that doesn't look green at all. Or that looks like... I can't believe how green the non-green is. You know? That's just kind of crazy. But yeah, that's definitely a problem. Ooh, can I have like a mouse over thing for these? That would be cool. I'd like to be able to mouse over these and see the name of the emoji. That'd be cool. Yeah, and look at just... yeah. So that's why greenness score V1 is bad. But I still want to do the do it as like a filter or a channel or whatever. Yeah, so let's return something that has the max of 255, so we could just do that. Right? If we did that, then making the max value 160 times 255 is not significantly different. Like, who cares? Doesn't really matter. It's one fewer divisions, I guess. Yeah, the computer doesn't really care. And this is great for us because max value 255 is basically what we need in order to do something that you can visualize. So how does this work? So ultimately we do put image data, so this shouldn't be too crazy. Do score channel, and I will pass in a function of green and alpha. Would I ever use red and blue? Yeah, I probably would. Can you pass in, like if I pass in undefined here, would that be a real error, I wonder? Well, we'll find out. We'll pass in a score function and a and that's it, I guess. How does it know what image? It's the emoji. Yeah, okay. So yeah. We still do that. Yeah, we still do that. We get the image data. Yeah, we still do that. And then we yeah, we basically just do like do this. And we pass this into here. And then we have to write the new data. We probably go ahead and write it into green, right? Probably the greenest, the greenness score should look like green, right? Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, so we have to basically overwrite this stuff. Image data. Data. Let's do this cleverly slightly. Okay, alpha is going to be 255 always. Is that true? Huh. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. And then we do score here. Isn't that great? That's just great. And then we add a button. Button. Where's temp CTX? Temp CTX should get this as well, right? Sure. And why don't I put this here with the other canvases, just, you know, so he can hang out with his friends. Right? We have 4 canvases now. Yep, that makes sense. And now the buttons. Ah, the buttons already existed, which means I should make this already exist. And now it's an open question as to what it's going to do with the other arguments. Oh, actually, the arguments are in the wrong order, for one thing. Okay, it doesn't care, but the arguments are in the wrong order. So I want to fix that. Yeah. I'm just gonna use like the same basic template for all the score functions now. Because it'll help me write less code ultimately, I think. Very good. Now the real greenness score. There we go. Okay. That looks right. It should basically... Oh, this doesn't toggle. It should basically look the same as if you turned off... Yeah, basically that. Basically that. Yep, that makes perfect sense. I wish it was toggleable. I wish it was toggleable. Now what would that do? What would toggleable do? Basically, I want this functionality. This way I can go boom, 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 boom. Looks exactly the same. This, yep. There is the tiniest bit of green there. There is the tiniest bit. Right around the edges. I need to add the score to this thing, I think. What is it? Info panel? Yeah. Okay, per frame. Per... Okay, actually, no. Check this out. Check this out. I've got that data right there. Okay, this isn't so bad. Yeah, I'll say, like, let score v1 is equal to greenness score v1 pixel of red, green, blue, alpha. Perfect. Dot to fixed 2. Does that want a bunch of... Oh, that returns a string, doesn't it? That's fine. Can I put the semicolon here? Yeah, I'd like that better. S1 is score v1. Perfect. So we do boop, boop. Do I see score v1? Sick. Yeah, there it is. There, look, the tiniest, we get 5. Which is exactly what you'd expect. Oh, isn't that interesting? The alpha is actually 255 around the edges. That's surprising. Wow. It's completely opaque. Huh. Oh, these have very similar scores. Wow. That's crazy. Ah, yeah, okay, this will be interesting. This will actually... I'm actually glad I went through the trouble of doing this like UI thing. I think it'll be useful. Because I think score v2 is actually going to be less easy than I thought initially. Interesting. So what I'm thinking of doing for score v2 is like is to calculate the hue basically, and then do some kind of window function on the hue. Which honestly doesn't seem like the next most simplest thing. So maybe what I would do is maybe what I could do is something a little bit simpler. Yeah. Let's try it. Okay, so we basically copy this. We're going to come over here. We're going to call v2. and we're going to make a button for it. Yeah. Now I can't swap between the scores easily. Oy vey. Because if I already know, if I click score button V1 and then I click score button V2, it's not gonna swap between them immediately. It's not gonna do what I want. So what it should do is it should say score channel on is equal to, let's see, if last click score is equal to 1, then false, because we want to switch it off in that case. We want to toggle it off. Otherwise, true. Oh, and we say last click score is equal to... Oh, uh-oh. Uh-oh. If last click score is equal to 1, actually what we want to do is toggle it. Rather than just set it to false. Oh, I didn't even write the function yet. Hold on. I could still test it, I think. It's not going to do anything exciting. Boop. Score V1. Score V2. Score V2 toggle off. On, off, on. Same. Off, on. Perfect. That's exactly how I wanted it to work. Now let's actually write the new scoring function. And we're going to use it to sort things as well. Okay. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is just green over sum of everything times 255 times opacity ratio. That would seem to be the next most simplest way of doing things. Well, that's not correct at all. That's not right. Well, that's spooky. Oh, that's spooky looking. This should be very green, right? Huh. How is this the highest score? That doesn't make much sense. I see nans. Aha. Gotta love the nans. We have a 0. We're dividing by 0. There. That should fix that issue. That's awesome. Yes, yes, yes. This doesn't look particularly green. This, obviously, extremely green. I don't think it's really up for debate how green this is. This is exceedingly green. I mean, it's still only like half as green as it could be ever. You know? Oh, look at that. I noticed that that's actually... Huh. Ah. Green of 124 is actually 100% green. That's interesting. That's something I didn't consider. So what about this? What about this is so exceedingly green? This is not very green. This is like less than 50% green. Which is still accurate. So I guess very blue things, if it's very blue and not very red, then that will kind of be greenish. If it's blue-green, that's still pretty green, I guess. Interesting. Like this. Well, brown is not that green. Huh. I mean, I definitely think it's better than V1, but it's still got some weird outliers, right? And it still does this thing. I think this is going to be our nemesis. Yellow square. Yellow square is going to be pretty tough. Well, maybe not that tough. Okay. All right. It's too cold in my room, so give me a second. I'll be right back. All right. Okay. At least one problem that I think this has is if it's a little bit green, but nothing else, then that comes out as like super green. That's like 100% green in that case. Sorry, I'm eating food. Again, I think hue is going to be the answer to this, but I'm trying to think of what, have a little fun with it. What would I do as the next step? That's like slightly less complicated than hue is. There's green. There's okay. Wait a minute. Oh, let me make a I'm gonna sort of generalize this this function real quick. what's the problem here? Oh. So now we don't need you. And now we don't need you. Just the per pixel thing. Okay. Here's what I was thinking, okay? I was thinking about how, you know, if you just had a little bit of green but none of anything else, that would still give you a really high green score. So I was trying to think of like, well, how do you give non-green a representation of some kind, you know? That's what I was thinking. So I was like, in probability, the probability of X is the same as 1 minus the probability of not X. So what if I did something analogous to that? Hold on a second. Something's not right with this. Do I do this? Could I not just reverse that? Okay. So the max value that this could have is 255 times 3, right? So I could say like I could just divide it by 3. Oh, of course, opacity matters, right? So we throw that in there. Yeah, that seems like it might make some sense. All right, let's add it in. Now we make a button for it. And we make the button for it here as well. Dude, one of these days I'm gonna like patch up the blackout on my window so the sun isn't shining through right when I want to do streaming. Oh, I didn't save this. We're gonna have to do that again. Okay. Very good. Green square is on top, which is a good sign. What? Black square? What are you doing here? What? I don't understand. So this has a high amount of not green, in addition to having a little bit of green. Ah, interesting. That is what would happen. Yep. Wow, go figure. Huh. And I'm guessing kind of the same explanation for this. Wow, yeah, that looks extremely green. Score V1 was the worst at it. Score V2 is pretty good. And then... But see, now Score V3 is scoring everything else around it really highly. Yeah. Excuse me. On the bright side, we fixed the checkmark problem. Right? These guys do not any longer have really high greenness scores for that part. Yeah. Again, very interesting. Now what we could do, I'm not totally sure what to do next, actually. Like, the first thing I'm thinking is to, like, just throw the green factor back in again, So like multiply by the greenness percent. Uh, or I could like try to explicitly filter out blackness. So I would like huh. How would I do that? That's interesting. Because 0, 255, 0. Um, hmm. I'm thinking of something weird now. I'm thinking of like, what about like the ratios between green and red and green and blue being useful? Something like that. The problem is that that has some weird behavior in the negatives. Okay, let me. I could try that. I could try that. We can try it anyways. Okay. So what if we're like green minus red plus green minus blue plus green. And then we say let greenness does it equal divide equal we would just do like greenness divided by 3 if greenness less than 0, then greenness equals 0, and then opacity ratio at the end. That might kind of do something interesting. Basically, I want green to be higher than red and blue. And if it's not, basically shut it down, you get a 0 greenness effectively. And then the plus green at the end is to reward having just like an overall high level of green. Yeah, that might be decent. This is fun. This is way more fun than just jumping straight to the hue thing. I'm not even totally sure the hue solution is like right, you know? It feels like it should be, but I don't know. Because like hue, I like the idea of hue because it's a function that outputs a single number, and that reduces the complexity of the problem so much. Because then once you have a single number, then you can just pick some range of hue values that you want to select for, and then boom, you're done basically. That feels like basically how it should work. So we already have a button. We should be sorting by it, for one thing. Yeah, we should make sure we're sorting by it, and then we also want to make sure we have a button for it. Interesting. So this seems good. Already this seems good. Okay. Score V4. Spooky. Okay, score V4 on you is relatively high. 165, 167. Yeah, that's pretty cool. It was actually lower than that. 120, it's 120 or something like that. Interesting. Notice that it's actually lower than score V3, which is a little bit curious, but okay. This and this seem like the first, this seems like the first set of problems here. Yeah, okay, check this out. Look at that. Way more green than blue. And that sort of offsets the green versus red thing. It's less green than the obviously green money, but the but it's still actually, is it less green? It is. Oh, or I should, I'm not sure. Yeah, it is. Oh yeah, you can tell score by looking at the G in this view. My bad. Yeah, and then green apple, which looks quite yellow actually, is still very green. I think this is better than V3, but... And it's curious that green circle is less green than shorts. Yeah, this is, so that's more green. The bottom of the shorts and the very top. And over here's more green. I guess, okay, so what's... Oh, it's very blue, actually. Despite appearing green, it's actually quite blue over here. Interesting. Okay, that kind of explains it. Whereas the only bluer part is down there. Okay, that's fair. This especially... Okay, that's not very green. That's great, actually. Score V4 is doing great. This, like, reddish brown thing is not very green at all. What about this? Yeah, look at this. This blue-green sky is actually extremely green. Look at that. Yeah, that's a problem. And then yellow. Yellow turning into kind of orangish. Has this problem of being green. Actually, okay. Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, the top, which is more yellow, is a higher score. Yeah. Score V4, I think, is definitely better than the previous ones, but... And then this is green because bluish green is still quite green. Surprisingly. Because it's not very red. That's the main thing. We could like subtract double. We could subtract double red and subtract double blue. Which is kind of like a non-linear thing. That would kind of work. And yeah, these freaking white clouds. Ay, 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 ay. How is this so green? How is this so green it doesn't make any sense? How does this get 85 green? Yeah, what? Why? White clouds is greener than this green cactus? How? Did I do it wrong? Did I do the math wrong? I'm really concerned now. What the heck? Plus green at the end. Plus green at the end. Oh. Oh, because it has like 250 green. It doesn't really matter that much. Okay. So what I need to do, right, I think for V5 I do minus 2 times. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. I think I need to make the info panel taller. And when I click on a new emoji, I want it to do something a little bit different than previous. On click, it just loads emoji. What does that do? Loading emoji does channel processing. Aha, that's actually, we want to do some like if statements there. Something like this. Although which if score channel on, do score channel. Oh, we'd have to do a freaking switch statement. Jesus. Unless. This is horrific. But I'm doing it anyways. Very exciting. Let's see. Let's see what we got. That looks a little bit concerning. Why is cash up there on top? That's a bit weird. That's a bit weird. There's Dino. There's Frog, there's Snake, there's... Or are you Dragon? No, you're Snake, I think. Very interesting. Yellow. Yellow is back to bother us again. Okay, so V5, dollar. It does, okay, on the bright side, it does seem to be downranking that flavor of yellow. Right? That's something. So we're getting high scores of green here because it is in fact green. And this is a less green because it's towards black. Yeah, okay. It's so bizarre that this counts towards the score. Like, this is a non-trivial contribution towards the score. This weird freaking outline thing it's doing. Okay, so yeah, that's scored really lowly. It's non-zero, though, still, because there's so much green. And there's not very much blue. Yeah. Yeah, that would do it. Okay. This is, yeah, this just isn't actually that green, which is weird. Yeah, it's kind of surprising. I mean, this looks very green, and there's obviously a lot of pixels, but this is so much greener than that green. Okay, and this, I don't really object to this. This is clearly very green. And this is not very green at all, and it knows that, so that's really smart. Yeah, perfect. That's totally reasonable. This is totally reasonable. This is pretty clear what's going on. So what's the first one I disagree with? Well, I mean, this is green apple. It's quite yellow. But the name of the emoji is literally green apple, so you kind of have to, you kind of hope that it would show up. These socks are quite green, and then there's this blue here, so it doesn't really count. Oh, that's very green. The top of the socks are extremely green. Okay. This lettuce is actually more brown, it looks like. Still quite green. Oh yeah, 160, 180. Yeah, still very green. Oh, I think I made an error down here. I didn't? Oh, they just have the same scores. Okay, for some things. Weird. Oh, no, I'm being silly. I'm being silly. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Scores V4 and V5 do not have the same. But why? Hold on. That doesn't seem to agree with... Is this lying to me? It is lying to me. The buttons don't do what they say they do. I knew something was up. Score V5 button, yeah, there you go, that's the problem. And this is a problem as well. Okay, fix that. Surprised I didn't notice that earlier. Hold on a second. Okay. Okay, kiwi's pretty green. Pretty yellow, but it's also pretty green. This is green. Yep. Just this outside part, really. But is this green? Ah, the sky is still green, dude. Ooh, that looks markedly better than V4, right? But the sky is still considered so green. That's so crazy. This is still so green. Oh yeah, I like this view. This is good. Yeah, that's pretty green. This not being green is great, and I guess this is just so highly green that it sort of makes up for it. Yep. Surprisingly not quite as green as I was expecting. Only 100 green. It's like half, less than half. But okay. Yeah. The baseball being green is a little bit weird. I agree that it's green, but it's just weird that a baseball would be green. This being green totally makes sense. Olive is green. Yes. Frog is green. I feel like the frog's chin... Shouldn't this be a tiny bit green too? Well, it is around the edges, actually. Yep, just a little bit around the edges. Okay. I don't know what that is. I gotta figure out how to do the on hover thing. Let me see. What is it? Is it controlled via CSS or no? HTML tooltip on hover? How do I do that? It's CSS, I guess. Okay, it's the title attribute. Okay, so I can do that. I can mess with that. Mm-hmm. Wait a second. What? Yeah, I can put new lines in there. Definitely do that. And yep, it's going to be index 1. I think that might work. Yes, and you can do new lines without an issue. Yes. Perfect, 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 perfect. Okay, so we were looking at this. Pager. This is pager. Okay. I love it. Ooh, yeah. Yellow isn't green at all. I love it. It's very great. Okay. This. The mountains are a bit green. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I get that. I roughly agree with that. T-shirt. House building. House building. Huh. Dinosaur. It's shocking that dinosaur isn't up there more, but okay. Is it just that these are not very green? Yeah, these are just not very green. They're very blue. They're highly, highly blue. That's really the killer for all these things that like looked green, is that they're actually more tealish. Nice. What is this? Cactus love. Huh. Cactus love. Is there a regular old cactus? There is. Okay. Just making sure. Mountain railway and mountain cableway. What is the difference between these images? How did I end up with 2? They're scored the same, right? They have to be. They have to be. They are. Okay, good. Juice box. Yeah, I generally agree that these are quite green. This is fantastic. Well, okay. Now hold on a minute here. It's really mostly red. Uh, okay, that's a little bit sus. Cucumber. Microbe. Where's pickle? Or is a cucumber also a pickle for whatever reason? Okay, cool. Yeah, and this I feel like this should be rated higher. Like this and this should be rated higher than this, I feel. This should totally be rated higher. What the heck? Like, it's definitely finding the green pixels. Um, that's interesting. It's just like overall. Hmm. That's a new one. I haven't seen that before. Interesting. I wonder if basically allowing negatives would sort of fix this issue. You know? Huh. That is quite interesting, though. Like, score V5, I agree with with like this part of it more than any of the other previous scores. Well, okay. Okay, that's definitely obviously wrong. Like this should be more highly rated, right? Because it's just green. Yeah, I need to like... Okay, so this is more, this is like a different class of scoring method now that I want to do. That like... That like uses the greenness score of an individual pixel differently. That's curious. Hmm. Okay. Definitely some good progress, though. Oh, this is obviously totally green, right? Well, I guess it's also quite blue. So that's fair. Champagne, that should be rated higher, I think. Are there any really egregious ones down here, though? Right, that would be indicative of something else being the problem, but I'm pretty sure I've got the idea of it. Might not even need to do the hue thing. And here's like, you know, the majority of non-green emojis. Yellow still gets like some greenness score. Ooh, spooky. And here, there's the green. That's pretty cool. That's actually really neat. Look at that. Where's the green? There it is. That's really neat. How about this? Oh yeah, it's most green over like right around the top. And yep, here's all the yellow stuff, which just has like the tiniest, just enough green. Oh, this still has some green somewhere. Yeah, okay. Basically the lightness, the light outline of yellow will have some green. This, it should be over here, I guess? Yep, that makes sense. Yep, right there. Yep, that makes sense. At the tips of the fries, yep. This is all making a lot of sense. And then these should basically not be green at all. This is technically a little bit of green. Where? Good question. Show me the green. How did it get a score of 4? Is that what score it would normally get? Is that actually right? I don't think there's an error in the math. Where's I don't see. Yeah, I don't see any of the green there. That's weird. Maybe there's just some random pixels somewhere. Yeah, score 5 is obviously so much better than the other ones. This looks vaguely green. I don't see it. The computer sees it, I do not see it. Oh well. And then basically, none of this stuff should be green at all. And I pretty much agree with that. Well, that was a neat effect. They have clocks for each. Even the even half-minute intervals. That's so crazy. Wow. Oh, these actually have 0. Okay. Hey, good. Fantastic. Well, score V5 is already really great. But I do need to make some modifications to it. But I think I will save said modifications for another time. Quite possibly for tomorrow. Because I'm feeling tired, even though it's not that late. Yeah, it's not that late, but after like 2 hours of streaming, I kind of feel a little bit exhausted for whatever reason. Maybe I'll be able to stream longer in the future. I don't know. I would. Gosh, I wish I could. You know, just master the ability of streaming for like 10 hours, doing coding and being productive. That'd be really awesome. But I already had a day before I started this stream, and I think it's not that unreasonable to be feeling a bit tired. Love greenness score V5 though. It's really cool. Yeah, probably streaming tomorrow. Hope to see you then. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, farewell.